What up, y'all, and welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. This time for the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series, gearing up for the 16th race of the 2023 season. 175 laps of action under the lights of the chaotic paperclip here in Virginia. Quentin Moore, man, what a season he has had. He had to fight through go home in the first half of the season. Missed 3 races, but has climbed all the way up to 17th in the point standings. And he's got his first pole of 2023 here tonight. And it is the 4th pole in his Digital Storm career. So props to Quentin Moore on the pole position. It might not matter here at Martinsville because the track is known to be quite chaotic, but it is good to start up front at a short track nonetheless. He's got William Brock to his outside. Charles Sanford and Colt Hudson are in row 2. Andrew Rich, Nico Tringali, row 3. RJ Bishop Fitzwater in row 4, with Samet Ozkan and Alexander Rowe rounding out the top 10. Points leader Jonathan Zoerlein starts in 11th. He has won at this track twice in his illustrious career, back in 2019 and last year in 2022. We'll go over more of the past race winners here shortly as we go through the rest of the starting lineup. DJ Curtis won the first race ever here back in 2017. Your pole sitter Quentin Moore, forgot to mention, won here for his first career win in 2018. That was his rookie season. So as mentioned, Zoerlein won in 2019. Then Matthew Logan got it done in 2020. Dylan Young in 2021. And Zoerlein again last year. So it has been Chevy and Ford winning here in the Digital Storm Cup Series. Chevy with the 2 wins from Zoerlein. Ford with 4 wins overall, 2 of which came from Front Row Motorsports when Front Row was a Ford team. So we'll have to see if Toyota or Dodge can get their first win here at the Paperclip tonight. Zoerlein comes in with a 17-point lead over Samet Ozkan, 34 over Nate Rogers, 45 over Kev Shearer. So Ozkan, Nate Rogers, Kev Shearer, they are within distance to strike and take the points lead here tonight if they have a really good race, and Zoerlein does not. By the way, I did check. It is 60, 55, 51 for the top 3, so a 5-point difference from first to second and a 4-point difference from second to third. Rest of the drivers still in the hunt but need some help include Dylan Young, 65 back in 5th. Charles Sanford, 66 back in 6th. Seth Cole and Andrew Rich are both 68 back. Rob Evans, 85 back in 9th, with Alex Aranti, 88 back in 10th. It's a long one here at Martinsville. Who will bring home the trophy tonight? What kind of chaos will we see? Flagman has the green flag in hand, and we are green under the lights at Martinsville. Already seen 3 wide madness here at the front of the field as Andrew Rich is going to put Charles Sanford and Colt Hudson 3 wide to his outside for 3rd place. RJ Bishop looking to try and follow him through as Andrew makes it work and clears them both for the position. Now looking for second on William Brock. Brock, though, with a good defensive line, looking to hold on. So they did adjust the tire compound a little bit after the truck race last night on the Cup cars here. And the Cup drivers say they're expecting an extra 0.3 of fall off or so compared to the truck. So you could see about a second and a half of fall off maybe perhaps here tonight for the Cup cars. As Rich continuing the fight, William Brock for 2nd place as Quentin Moore looking to start to build a lead. Quinton hasn't won in a while. So we've got a car on pit road. That's the 82 of Corey Raymond. So Kate Anderson was trying to get to pit road to serve a black flag and pull down the track right in front of Laura Chung. That stacked up a ton of drivers. And you see Richard Johnson down, clipping the apron. Ferranti got checked up from this. And then watch the 82 of Corey Raymond. He's going to get stuck here. Tires not on the racetrack, got stuck there on the curbing. And that is why Raymond is on pit road. And Anderson was unable to serve her penalty. And she has been parked by officials. Currently got a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. Quinton Moore, William Brock, Andrew Rich, and Samet Ozkan, the top 4. So we'll go through the top 10, top 20 or so here for the first time tonight. RJ Bishop in 5th, Colt Hudson in 6th. Zoerlein up into 7th place after starting 11th. Fitzwater running in 8th. Rob Evans in 9th. With Zach Flickinger rounding out the top 10. Charles Sanford is 11th, getting pressure from Benjamin Ice. Jessica Shelton in 13th. Nico Tringali qualifying into this race in 14th, trying to find the way out of go or go home here at the end of the season. Keith Rich in 15th. Corey Riggs, Kev Shearer. Kev Shearer's got damage. Where did this damage come from? We'll have to take a look at that here in a moment. So you got Logan New York, Alexander Rowe, and Henry Sanford racing Nate Rogers for that final top 20 position. See Ace Rogers outside the top 20. Remember Ace with a Jerky Pro win here back in 2018. Dylan Young trying to charge forward, currently up to, I believe, 25th place now. See Trace Smith, our recent race winner back at Richmond, not having a good going here tonight. That was the same case for Sam Young in the truck race last night. As you see Laura Chung with the damage on the front nose. Seth Cole is not having a good going here. He's currently in 30th. Audra Baran-Auskis, who's got a win here in trucks, not having a good showing either. Stephen Waters had that top 10 run last night. He is not having a good night. So let's look and see what happened to Kev Shearer. This was back on lap number 10. And Benjamin Ice racing Kev Shearer for position. Just gets into him off of turn 2 and turns him down into the inside wall. Kev chases it back up the track. Tringali just misses. Same with Keith Rich and Corey Riggs. And they all kept it straight in the end. So no major carnage here in the Cup race yet. Battle is on for 4th place as Colt Hudson's looking to the inside of Samet Ozkan. But Ozkan getting good runs off the corner. Defending the position well. Fitzwater and Rob Evans made it by Jonathan Zoerlein. Zoerlein does not look like he has got the pace to win at the moment. But we are just 25 laps in of this 175-lap event, and everyone is going to have to pit twice here tonight. And pit road is known to shuffle the field at times here at Martinsville. We've seen that help drivers win, and we've seen it take drivers out of the chance to win. It's Jessica Shelton clearing teammate Charles Sanford and owner for 11th. You see Kev Shearer, despite the damage, has the fastest lap of the race. Now, that might have been pre-damage, but the car still pretty fast. As you see Rob Evans, second on the chart. Hudson, Ozkan, Fitzwater, the top 5 on the lap sheet. And it is starting to show. You can see Hudson is really trying to find a way by Samet Ozkan, but just can't get a good run through the middle of the corner. Meanwhile, no one has been able to challenge Quinton Moore for the race lead, but that might change here soon as they're about to hit lap traffic. Things could start getting pretty hairy here all over the racetrack. You see lap traffic starting to bunch up the leaders, and that's going to make Andrew Rich go 3 wide on the bottom of Brock and Quinton Moore. Brock was looking to the inside of Moore, and then Rich saw a gap and shoved his nose in there. Now Andrew Rich clear of second place on William Brock, looking for the race lead on Quinton Moore. They have yet to lap anybody, and the battle is on for the race lead side by side here in the top 8. Hudson looking for 4th on Ozkan behind them, as Andrew Rich will take the race lead away from Quinton Moore on lap 35. Now William Brock looking for 2nd on the 16. Fitzwater has moved up to 6th. Rob Evans looking for 7th on RJ Bishop. Gonna get it. And that has all of this has allowed Jonathan Zoerlein to close the distance. Andrew Rich will put Zach Carrington a lap down. Brock will move up to 2nd place, and now Hudson looking to get by Quinton Moore for 3rd, as Moore is going to be stuck behind the 44. And then Ozkan in turn will be stuck behind him. And that's going to shuffle this top 5 running order just a wee bit. William Brock on the attack on Andrew Rich, looking for the race lead here now himself, as Owen Miles and Corey Raymond are side by side in front of him. Brock with the advantage down the back straightaway. Remember, William Brock is still looking for that first career Digital Storm Cup Series win. We've seen a couple drivers get their first career wins this year. Stephen Waters, Henry Sanford, RJ Bishop. Cannot forget RJ Bishop at the 500, that's for sure. Alex Ferranti and Logan York here in the second half. Same with Trey Smith last time out at Richmond. It has been quite the year for first-time winners, both rookie drivers and veterans alike. Could tonight finally be the night for William Brock? We've seen quite some pace out of this 19 car this year. Hasn't been championship-winning pace, but Indianapolis was arguably his best run back early on. Samet Ozkan ended up getting that victory partially due to strategy. But Brock sits 25th in the points. 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s on the season. So looking for a really good run here tonight at Martinsville. And now as the lap traffic shuffle has started to settle down, Fitzwater and Rob Evans will move up to 2nd and 3rd. There's now Andrew Rich all over Corey Raymond. Going to try and get by the 82. Yep, going to send him into the corner a little bit as RJ Bishop going to be right on his quarter panel. Off the corner, Bishop lays off. You see Quinton Moore had fallen to 8th. Now looking to challenge back on Ozkan for 7th. Zoerlein closed up in all of this to still in 9th. As now Jessica Shelton looking to the inside of Zach Flickinger for 10th. Benjamin Ice, the only other driver close here in 12th, is Nico Tringali, 13th place, 4.5 seconds behind Benjamin Ice. We're closing in on pit stops. You see Corey Riggs, 14th. He's got some back-end damage from something. Dylan Young has driven it up to 15th. How about Archibald Buttersworth in 18th place? Charles Sanford not having a good go, though. He is down to 19th. Baranowskis, though, has made it up to 24th. Nate Rogers not doing so hot. He's 25th. So in terms of the championship, we see Ozkan ahead of Zoerlein right now, but Nate Rogers, 25th, Kev Shearer 22nd, and Kev Shearer also with the damage. So things looking pretty bleak for some of these championship contenders, especially with Zoerlein running inside the top 10. The leaders continue the fight through lap traffic, and now Rob Evans is going to be the next one up, looking to take the race lead because of it. On the inside of William Brock here is now Fitzwater goes high in the 1. That's going to open the door for Andrew Rich to look to take 3rd place back. Quinton Moore has fallen outside of the top 10. He is down in 11th place. As now there is a huge 3-second gap from 8th down to 9th, and then 9th to 18th has started to form a bit of a train, as Rob Evans is going to put both Richard Johnson and Trey Smith 3 wide. He's looking to clear by both of them. And that's going to put the 65 in a little bit of some clean track. And that could allow Rob Evans to pull away here with the race lead as we close in on the first round of pit stops. Pit stops are set to commence here on lap 67. Evans with a 2-second lead over Samet Ozkan. As you see, lap down car of Laura Chung, the first to peel off. From the leaders, though, Colt Hudson, RJ Bishop, Fitzwater, and Brock will pit first. So we're going to watch the pit lane entry once again. Nate Rogers is going to come in looking to gain track position on a empty pit road. Andrew Rich, Jessica Shelton now coming in from 3rd and 4th. Quinton Moore in. Zach Flickinger. Oh, Nico Tringali slicing through Buttersworth and York to get to pit road. Charles Sanford with a bit of a late move, but gets in. That orange box means nothing here at Martinsville, unlike Richmond. Seth Cole, Alexander Rowe in. Samet Ozkan in from 2nd. As, Owen Miles just sideswiped Jonathan Zoerlein. Oh, and he's going to hop the curbing to come into pit road. That was crazy. Rob Evans still yet to pit. Oh, as Fitzwater just got turned. Got the end of it as Rob Evans comes into pit road. Fitzwater was coming out, and he got turned there by somebody. Benjamin Ice coming to pit road. Zoerlein still yet to pit. He's now seeing a ton of cars come out of pit lane. And Jonathan Zoerlein will pit here on lap 71, so he stayed out as long as he could. Same with Corey Riggs in the 27. And Kev Shearer in the 00. So Kev Shearer making his stop. We expect him to fix some of the door damage on the 00 door. So they are 3 wide there off turn 4. Oh, as Corey Raymond just got turned by Logan York. Oh, and Raymond's just going to squeak in the pit road. That was dicey. Raymond was 2 laps down. Remember, he got stuck over there early in the race, and he towed right to pit road, got back out, fell 2 laps down, and just trying to hope for people to crash out here. But that is going to complete the pit cycle. And let's see here who the race leader is going to be. I believe it's the 65 still. Yes, indeed. So Evans cycles back around to the race lead, but we've got 2 things to look at that happened during the pit cycle. Let's take a look at the first one here. This was Fitzwater coming out of pit road as Henry Sanford came in the pit, and this was just bad timing. That spins Fitzwater around. Now, no major damage to the 59, but lost a ton of time that he could have potentially gained. And now he is going to be hard on the attack, trying to make up the time he lost. This was the second incident we saw here. Corey Raymond come in the pit and Logan York came out. You see York tried to hit the brakes for him, but just couldn't do it in time. And then Raymond just squeaked by to get into pit road. So a little bit of insult to injury on Raymond's night, but he is not out of the race just yet. 100 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Evans is the leader over Andrew Rich and Colt Hudson. Samet Ozkan 4th. Jessica Shelton 5th. RJ Bishop 6th. Brock, Quinton Moore, Benjamin Ice, and Jonathan Zoerlein are the top 10. So you see here, not a lot of time to be lost or gained on the undercut overcut here at Martinsville, but pitting as late as Zoerlein did is going to let him go on the attack here over the course of this run. Now, what'll be curious to see is how teams handle the this run and then the final run, if they're going to kind of split it in half more so with under 100 to go. They can go as long as 75 laps if they want on fuel, but they're likely not going to do that and pit with 25 to go. So it'll be curious to see what strategy games are played. We might see these teams start the pit maybe closer around lap 125 and do runs of about 50 laps each here to split up the second and third runs on the track. Let's go through the field some more. Zoerlein is starting to close some time up on the leader. Ace Rogers is 11th with Flickinger 12th, Tringali 13th. Fitzwater dropped the 14th from his spin. Dylan Young 15th, Keith Rich in 16th. Nate Rogers gained some time there. He's up to 17th. Lane Sanders as well up to 19th. As you see, Logan York just getting by Corey Riggs for 20th. Brian Auskus is up to 22nd. Ferranti and Seth Cole still having a tough go, 28th, 29th, as Evans is looking to lap him. So you got Charles Sanford 2 laps down in 38th. Henry Sanford 2 laps down in 39th. And Rob Evans is the race leader. So we've seen quite a couple of different leaders here so far tonight. You had Quentin Moore early, then Andrew Rich, then William Brock, and then now Rob Evans. As you see, Andrew Rich still up here at the front. Colt Hudson has been top 5 for a little bit now. Samet Ozkan in 4th, and we've seen Jessica Shelton slowly moving her way up the running order, so you gotta wonder if Shelton might have something for those in front of her here tonight, as she sits 8th on the fast lap chart with a 21.216. As no one has really ran a faster lap since this recent round of pit stops due to everyone being pretty much in traffic. You can even see Owen Miles is 10th on the chart, but is running in 40th 2 laps down. So quite interesting how this race could play out, and a lot of racing to go. But Andrew Rich here on lap 85 will be coming to 90 to go. And Andrew starting to put pressure on Rob, as Rob looking for what would be his second win of the season. He got his first win back at Dubai. And Rob would be looking to join some illustrious company with what would be his 5th win in the Digital Storm Cup Series. And typically once you hit 5 wins, you are considered elite. Drivers that sit on the all-time chart with 5 wins right now include Deanna Jones, Alex Gray, and Cole Deaver. And Deaver, of which has not won in several years, but unfortunately did not qualify for tonight's race as well after having a great go at Richmond. But above that list, you've got Ozkan, the 2020 champ, with 6 wins. Alexander Rowe with 6 wins, who's been having a down year, has Rowe had. Dylan Young with 7 wins. Nate Rogers with 8. Fitzwater just got win number 10 back at Milano. And of course, you got Charles Sanford with 13, Seth Cole 15, Redacted, and Andrew Rich with 16. And then Jonathan Zoerlein, of course, is at the top with 20. But Evans currently on the 4-win list. Only other active competitor with 4 wins is Kev Shearer, as Austin Alves and James Shelley with 4 wins each have since then retired. So I got to talk about the all-time wins list there for about 5 laps with how short the laps are here at Martinsville, and Andrew Rich still hasn't gotten by Rob Evans. Colt Hudson still about a second back, with Ozkan 2 seconds back, as Shelton has started to fade a bit in 5th, as the fight is starting to really heat up outside of the top 5. So you got RJ Bishop still in 6th, but now William Brock under attack from Quentin Moore for 7th. And he's got Benjamin Ice, Jonathan Zoerlein, Ace Rogers right there behind them, looking to pounce and get as many positions as they can here, as there is still quite a ways to go. Ace Rogers making some headway here, up to 9th place, right behind Quentin Moore. He's got teammate Benjamin Ice right behind him, as Jonathan Zoerlein is starting to fall back. Now, despite the overcut, this is curious to watch. So Zoerlein down to 11th, might lose 11th and fall to 12th. As Fitzwater also starting to come back up towards the top 10 on the attack. Currently in 13th place. But Zoerlein will lose 11th, fall to 12th, but he is going to fight back the most he can, as Samet Ozkan up ahead has moved up to 3rd. And he has come alive, and now he is all over the bumper of Andrew Rich for 2nd. As we are within the window now, anyone can pit now and be good to make it to the end of the race. Not expecting anybody to do so, though. As now Andrew Rich sees Ozkan closing up and has decided it's time to put the pressure on the race leader. So now fight is on for the lead, but Evans with a good run off the corner holds off Andrew Rich. Now Ozkan has to go high. That opens the door for the lap car of Stephen Waters. As Shelton, you see Shelton closing up to Colt Hudson. That'll become a battle for 4th place, potentially. Evans doing a really good job right now, holding off Rich on that outside line, but Rich still able to dive it into the corner and get to the inside. So now they are even down the back straightaway. Rich yet to win a race here on the 2023 season. It has been a tough go for him. He's had some good chances, but also has had some bad luck. Despite all of that, he sits 8th in the points with 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s. And he has taken the race lead away from Rob Evans here at Martinsville. Could tonight be the night for the 23 of Andrew Rich? Andrew with a 1.5 second lead over Rob Evans. Coming to what'll be 60 laps to go. Hudson back up to 3rd. Shelton is 4th. Bishop 5th. Ozkan has fallen to 6th. Quentin Moore, Ace Rogers, William Brock are 7th tonight, tight together. Benjamin Ice down in 10th. Zoerlein has fallen to 15th. It looks like I'm surprised the overcut has not worked out in his benefit. They made a poor adjustment on the 5. Nate Rogers has continued to drive forward up to 14th. So we are nearing the final round of green flag. Or, well, I guess just pit stops, because the race is green the whole time, no matter what happens. But as we've said for many short track races, you are never safe. It doesn't matter where you are on the track. You are not safe at all. And we've seen it so many times. So many times the leader being wrecked out. It didn't happen last week at Richmond, though I guess, technically late pass by Trey Smith was a bit of bad luck for Seth Cole, who led almost the entire thing. We've seen quite a lot of different leaders here, though, tonight. And what Andrew Rich has currently done on this stint was what Rob Evans was doing at the end of the first stint, and that was pulling out a large lead. So we have yet to see if there is a true, clear victor here, and we might not see it. There's still one more pit stop. Might not see it right now. One more pit stop to make those adjustments. By the way, if all y'all are wondering why I'm so, hippity-hoppity backwards with my commentating right now, I had a latte about 2 hours ago, so the caffeine is still hot and fresh. Colt Hudson starting to put pressure on Rob Evans. Looking for 2nd place. This has been a career run for Colt Hudson in the 93 in what is his third full-time season in the Cup Series. He is currently 33rd in the points, and he's only made 7 races on the year. And in those 7 races, a top 5 and 4 top 10s. So that is incredible. I mean, making the most of every start he gets a chance to be in a race. And I mean, prior to this year, just 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s on the first 2 full-time seasons for Hudson. And I mean, he has been stuck in go or go home quite a bit. But a really good run here tonight for Hudson, looking for what would be maybe a second top 5 on the season. And, you know, who knows, still here with 50 to go. Maybe a shot at the win if this car is fast enough, as pit stops have begun. Lane Sanders on pit road first. Jessica Shelton down now second. And Andrew Rich will pit from the lead here, choosing to pit early, get it over with. RJ Bishop coming in from 5th. William Brock from 7th. Fitzwater. Yep, here we go. Everyone's starting to bring it in. Ooh, it's getting dicey. Hudson and Ozkan will come in. Rob Evans will choose to stay out. Zoerlein coming in. He's going to lose time this time. He had to slow up behind some other cars. Kev Shearer staying out. Andrew Rich will pull out and away. So we're going to watch the 23 here. There you see Ozkan. There's Colt Hudson. Where's the 65 of Evans? Don't see him. See Quentin Moore, though, in his stall. So that should cycle Andrew Rich back to the race lead with what will be 45 laps to go. Didn't see any fresh skid marks, so I don't believe any incidents occurred under this pit cycle. Has actually got to wait one more lap for Rich to cycle back as the leader. Raymond in for his final pit stop too. And here we go. This will be 45 to go. And Andrew Rich back to the top spot with a monstrous lead over Colt Hudson. 3.5 seconds over the 93. Ozkan only a 1.5 seconds behind him in 3rd. Bishop is there in 4th. Evans comes out in 5th. Now, Evans with the freshest tires out of the leaders, but we saw what happened with Zoerlein doing that, and Zoerlein didn't go anywhere. So we'll have to see if the case is maybe different here for the 65, if the 65 made a good adjustment versus what the 5 did. Ace Rogers is in 6th. Ferranti is a lap down, so William Brock is 7th. Fitzwater back into the top 10 now in 8th. Quentin Moore 9th. As Zach Flickinger just got by Benjamin Ice for 10th, so drop Ice to 11th. Tringali 12th. Shelton had an issue. She is no longer on the lead lap. That's a tough break for her. She was having a good go. Lane Sanders 13th. Keith Rich 14th. Zoerlein 15th. Dylan Young 16th. As several drivers starting to fall a lap down, as Andrew Rich has a ton of damage. Where did that come from? The 23 has a load of passenger side damage. Doesn't appear to be affecting the pace on his car, though. Gap stays at about 3.3 seconds. Trying to see if I can find someone with some other damage. I don't really see anybody. Not seeing anyone with damage. Kev Shearer got that damage a long time ago. Corey Raymond's got some front end damage and back end damage. Was there something major that happened? Andrew Rich just pit. That's damage worth pitting over? Hearing them say that they think something is dragging on the passenger side door and they're going to bring it in to have them fix it. From the lead? Oh, man. Unbelievable turn of events. And that just opened this thing right open. All right, here's what it was. Charles Sanford, Ryan Brommer, Corey Raymond, they are 3 wide in front of Andrew Rich. Andrew tries to send it to the outside of Raymond. Raymond pulls up, and then this happens. Up the track they go. Brommer hard into the outside wall. And Brommer actually does a quick little roll down the racetrack. That gave Brommer a ton of damage. Dropped him from 23rd. Corey Raymond didn't really lose any positions. He's already been 2 down this entire go. And that also gave Andrew Rich damage and insult to injury to Charles Sanford's night as well. And then Andrew Rich went on to pit a couple laps later, and we've got a new race leader now. 35 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Andrew Rich sits 34th a lap down after choosing to pit for damage. That didn't look to be any bad damage. The pace looked okay, so a bit of a mind-boggling call by the 23 team, and they're kind of on the outside edge racing for the championship, and they chose to pit there as Hudson is really forcing the issue here on Buttersworth. But that has opened this thing wide open. Right now, it's between just Hudson and Samet Ozkan, but Rob Evans is right there, two seconds back in third with the freshest tires, to our knowledge. And he closed 3/10 that lap. Rob Evans in a really good spot if he can just get by some lap cars to fight for this win. Samet Ozkan, though, really needs to try and go for this thing because it's an extra 5 points. Zoerlein is currently 13th. So Zoerlein looking at what would be 30 points on his day right now. So Ozkan currently would gain 25, take the points lead by 8. If he can win, though, he would take it by 22. Or, I'm sorry, 13. But Hudson is now starting to drive away from Ozkan. You've also got RJ Bishop up here in 4th, who's had a really good race. Remember, he was our Daytona 500 winner. And RJ sits 22nd in the points. After that win at Daytona, he's had just 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s on the season. So RJ looking to get another good run here tonight. Ace Rogers has driven up into the top 5. He's going to look for 4th place. Don't count out this 63. He might have something for his teammate up there in the lead. Looks like Bulldog Motorsports brought a really good package to Martinsville this weekend. You've got Hudson in the lead, Ace Rogers in 5th, and Benjamin Ice in 10th. Unfortunately, Lucas Catano did not qualify. William Brock has had a great night all night as well. He's in 6th. Fitzwater with the good rebound after the spin in 7th. Quentin Moore from the pole in 8th. Zach Flickinger been hovering just inside the top 10 most of the night. He's now in 9th, looking for 8th as Benjamin Ice is in 10th. Lane Sanders in 11th. Tringali 12th. Zoerlein 13th. Dylan Young 14th. There's Andrew Rich with Keith Rich. Keith Rich in 15th. York 16th. Waters, man, he was at the back early, and he has made it up to 17th. So we cycle through the rest of the field. Hudson in the lead now. Here's something big. 33rd in the points, Colt Hudson. So Redacted has fallen to 30th in points. Yepes was locked into this race. Now, Yepes to Hudson, 29 points coming into this race. Deaver was 7 behind Yepes following his good run at Richmond, but Deaver did not qualify. Now, Yepes in the 18 is running in 36th place. That's only 7 points for Yepes. Now, Hudson, even with a second or a third, would jump Deaver and Yepes and would enter locked-in territory. And he's missed half the season. He's DNQ'd half the season. And if he won this thing, that would be massive. Because you look at who's behind them is Baranauskas. Baranauskas came in behind Hudson by 2 points. Derek Hamill came in behind by 22 points. And then Logan Williams, who didn't qualify, came in behind by 38 points. So Hudson wins this race, finishes top 3. He is going to really jump up because the locked-in window, 30th to 31st, 31st to 32nd, 33rd, whatever. Like, look at the points, and you'll understand what I'm saying. There's a big spread between the guys that are 31st to about 37th. I mean, there are some big gaps in between some positions. So this was a heck of a time for Hudson to have this run here coming to the end of the season. And again, regardless of if he wins this race or not, even a second place run would jump him into locked-in position. So talk about a great opportunity by the 93 team here. Qualified up front. Have been running up front all night. And now a little bit of luck with Andrew Rich getting into it with lap traffic. I said it. Say I jinxed him. Say I jinxed him because, I mean, you're never safe as the race leader. It doesn't matter here at the short tracks. You are never safe. Now, Cup is not going to Bristol next time out. They are going to be off. And then they are going to head to Papyrus. And then when they go to Homestead, Trucks is going to Memphis, I believe. Or no. Yes. Or are they going to Memphis before? I gotta look at my schedule again. Cause see, I've been doing these races now like every 3 weeks, and now I forget my own schedule. But Trucks is going to Memphis either after Bristol or after Papyrus. I don't remember which. And I literally was just looking at the schedule like 40 minutes ago. So that's the caffeine talking for you. Lane Sanders has made it into the top 10. He's in 10th. Zoerlein has driven up to 11th. So Zoerlein trying to minimize damage on Samet Ozkan. Ozkan is sitting there in second, maybe just biding his time, as the good homie Vince Freeze has said before. You call him Silky Smooth Samet. Triple S. That's what we call him. Triple S. Silky Smooth Samet. See, maybe trying to set up a run here, running wide, and lost time instead. But Hudson is all over the bumper of Turner, and Turner is a fellow Ford driver, so Turner not going to make it easy on Hudson to get by him. Coming to what will be 15 to go. Meanwhile, it happened to Rob Evans. The same had happened to Zoerlein. It looks like overcutting was not the way to go here. Brock has driven by into third, or perhaps Evans also made a poor adjustment. But Evans sitting in fourth. Ace Rogers fifth. Fitzwater up to sixth. Bishop, Moore, and Flickinger are going to be fighting for, I believe, seventh here. Yep, Flickinger actually just got by Quinton Moore for eighth. Benjamin Ice has fallen to 14th. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 14 laps to go at Martinsville. 5 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. William Brock has started to close in on the top 2. Not sure if he has enough time. Hudson and Ozkan have been unable to get by Jesse Turner, who was clinging to the lead lap in 22nd place. So look at the championship picture. Zoerlein up to 10th. With Ozkan in second. Ozkan would gain 21 points. And that would put Ozkan currently in the points lead by 4 points with 4 races to go. If he can get the lead and get the win, that would give him some good momentum, put him up by 9. If Zoerlein gets by Bishop, it would drop to a 2-point gap. And if he gets by Quinton Moore for 8th, they would be tied. Benjamin Ice just pit. I guess he couldn't make it on fuel. That's quite odd. 2 laps to go. Samet Ozkan starting to fall away from Colt Hudson as William Brock closes in. Turner moves up, maybe trying to pinch Hudson. White flag is out here at Martinsville Speedway. Lane Sanders has come to pit road. And Sanders' good run goes out the window. Can Ozkan send it here? Derek Hamill's going to pit as well. Ozkan not going to get there through turns 3 and 4. First career win for Colt Hudson here at Martinsville Speedway. And 2 years ago, we saw Hudson get his lone career Jerky Pro Truck win at Springfield. So it looks like Hudson's got something on the flat tracks. Ozkan will come home second. William Brock third. He was charging at the end there. If he had maybe 10 more laps, William Brock might have had something for Hudson. Rob Evans fourth. Ace Rogers fifth. Zach Flickinger with a good late climb up to 6th. Fitzwater 7th. Quinton Moore 8th. RJ Bishop 9th. And Zoerlein rounds out the top 10. Stringali had a good day in 11th. Dylan Young 12th. Alexander Rowe, man, rebounded up to 14th at the end. Stephen Waters 15th. Nate Rogers 17th. Going to lose some points on Zoerlein. Baranowska's 18th. We saw her outside of the top 30 early on. As Nate Rogers... Oh, I just mentioned him, 17th. Kev Shearer, though. Man, that damage really hurt Kev, 37th. But wow, man. Colt Hudson with the win. It's going to move him into locked-in position. Ozkan will take the points lead here. We've got 4 races to go. Papyrus, Homestead, Pensacola, Atlanta is going to be crazy. So off next time out. I will see you guys next time for Jerky Pro action at Bristol on the dirt. Peace out.